Hi parents and students. Usually these videos are going to be for students, but this very first one is really for parents and students to help your student get settled in to our computer science class this fall. And it was this video, in fact, was at a suggestion of a parent. So please, if you have these kind of suggestions and improvements for myself and Mrs. Johnson, please pass them along because it really does make it easier for other classes and maybe even this class. So I'm about to hit send to all you parents to on this email right here, which is the welcome to this email. And in this thing, it mentions 3 different logins for the class. Now, the one that I'm not going to cover in this video is an Electa Live account. You should have received an Electa Live account login and password. Your student is going to need that in order to log in to the classroom. And Mrs. Johnson, who's my assistant teacher, and I are going to go through the whole class roster and make sure that your student will have logged in before next week and that everything is fine with that. Or some of you are repeat students and you're okay with that anyway, so you know how that works. The second and third are things that are additional because of how I run the class and how we make a page for you guys to go to, and also because we're doing a programming class. So let me go through my little present because I wanted to make sure I covered everything. Okay, so we're going to go through, it seems like a lot, but after you set this up, as you set each of these up, please go ahead and click that, the options as they come up. You know, Google will say, do you want me to save this password? And just click them so that they come up, and you'll see that it becomes much easier once we've set this all up. So get your Electa password ready for the first time you log in. And then just have their password and ID ready for that first login. Right now we're going to see how you do the MyHaiku. So in this email, which is another, where are you? In this email it has the web browser, or the web address. So you need this web address all the way to sign up, and just copy that. I have this incognito window so you can see as if I don't have an account. I'm just going to paste that in. It's going a little bit slow. Everybody's on the email on the internet right now. Okay, and so our game design and simulation comes up, and it has the information out so you kind of know it's the right one. And then it asks for the invitation code. That invitation code is this thing in bold right here, not the extra period, but just right here. So I copy that and come over here, put it in. Oh, I didn't get my copy done. Let me copy that again. Oh, I deleted it. Hold on. There we go. All right. Okay, so let me go back. I'll just paste that in as if I'm starting up a new student. Okay, and at this part, you can choose to sign as a parent or a student. You'll need 2 different emails for this account, and your parents are welcome. Most parents don't feel the need to have a separate parent account, but parents are more than welcome to do that. And it has a little bit different view on it. But please start and set up a student account first, just to make sure that your student has everything set up. So you'll have the student account, you'll need a separate email for that. And once you get it set up, just make sure that you click the thing so that your web browser saves the password so that your student can log it in, and then, you know, put it in their bookmark bar so they can get to it kind of easily. Okay, now once you're in and you've got that all set up and you'll click all the way through to this class, what will happen is you will come to our class page, and our class page will look something like this when you let me show it as a student. View as student. Okay, so I'll view it as a student. So you'll see. Okay. So I have some unpublished pages over here that Mrs. Johnson and I will publish again. Okay, so it starts right now with a welcome, and this welcome is going to include some convenient links and things. And we'll talk a little bit more about the other stuff on the welcome. But some things will be added to the welcome if, you know, they're mainly things like syllabus or things like that. Notice that we do have this one thing over here called Introduce Yourself. This is a project. There's no homework due to this or anything. This project, each student can make their own page. Just have each student just add a new page with their name, and then they can add whatever content they wish, and they can view each other's pages and comment on it so that they can form friendships, and if they wish, and learn to, find each other. I know there are a lot of old friends joining up, and some new friends too, so it's going to be an exciting year. Okay, so that's going to be our kind of welcome page, and then each week we'll have a weekly page. This is our page for next week. A little bit about the content we'll cover, and there will be a homework assignment. And there's reading. The reading for the book that I use is Computational Fairy Tales, and if you got the physical book or the Kindle book, I'll say, well, if you have the book, read from this to that. If you don't have the book, most of this is freely available on his blog, and so I'll link to the critical parts from his blog, and they're stories, so they're great concepts. And then here's your assignment. Okay, the assignment for next week. Now, when I click on the assignment, this is going to say view work, but when you click on the assignment, your student will have a button like this, and it will say hand in. That's how they hand in an assignment to myself and Mrs. Johnson. Okay. Now, let's see, what else was I going to cover on that? Scratch. The third place that you need, and your student does not have to program in Scratch. The concepts we will cover in this class are absolutely from college level classes at MIT, Harvard, and Stanford. I will show the kids the syllabi that I pulled these from and things like that. These are some students that I'm following, so that is some language that I don't allow in class on some of those descriptions, but anyway, oops. So when you go to scratch.mit.edu, your student can set up a Scratch account. A lot of students already have these Scratch accounts, and we will be, even if your student has never done any programming at all, they will be able to get along with this. The nice thing about Scratch is it has drag and drop pieces that come together and are simple to pull together. However, the basics of Scratch, as we will learn, is that Scratch is a Turing complete language, and Scratch has a lot of the fun. It's designed by computer scientists to teach the fundamentals of computer science to people, so there's a lot there. Some students choose to use Khan Academy for this class. Khan Academy, in their coding section, has JavaScript available. So if you go to programming, it's down here. They've changed. This is a different thing. Okay, so you can go to programming, computer programming, computer animation. There are some great sections in here. There's some that I don't exactly recommend, but the JavaScript and animation stuff. If your student is using JavaScript or needs help to getting to JavaScript so that they can do it, they can create JavaScript programs and do it. Now, why we recommend Scratch or something like this JavaScript thing is because it's very easy to get graphical. Your student can absolutely turn in their homework to me in any computer language. I've never had a student turn in a computer language that I couldn't work with. But, Python, I'm fine with, all sorts of things. But because we're doing game design and simulation, I recommend something that already has the graphics easily available to your student. I do have a series of intro if your student wants to use Unity 3D and program, I think in C#. I have a set of videos where they can move from Scratch to that, but that's really a lot to take on when you're doing some very theoretical computer science at the same time. But if your student is motivated, I am right there with them, and we will talk about how I have all this office hour time. Okay, okay, the next thing is how to find the assignments. So sometimes students get a little bit lost on finding the assignments in our Haiku. They can find the assignments on the calendar, and the calendar is great for a lot of things. So let's go down. The calendar, if you click on the class session, We have more than one classroom going. GHF is getting bigger, and so we have more than one classroom going at a time. So here is it. They can, once you've signed them into Electa, they can come to the calendar. They can click